Hi everyone, Steff here. Thank you so much for stopping by and welcome to all my new subscribers, and thank you to all my returning friends as well. So today I wanted to do the tutorial that several people have requested on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram of the Gorjuss Girl Polish Shrink or Shrink-a-Dink plastic paper clips that I've made a while back. So what you will need is, of course, your polish shrink or shrink-a-dink plastic or shrink film. And in my last video of these paper clips, I explained that there were two different kinds, which it was just different by percentage of shrinkage. So this one was given to me by a friend, Janelle, and I shared that it's at 45% shrinkage. And this one I got from Amazon, and this one shrunk to 50%. So if that matters to you, you want to check on that. Like I said, I got this on Amazon. If I find the link, I will link it below. You will also need Stays On ink, and Stays On, I use the jet black, and this is good for non-porous surface, which is the polish shrink. It's glossy, a glossy finish, and it says right here on the back, it's appropriate for all surfaces, designed especially for the use of plastic, metal, glass, ceramic, laminated paper, coated paper, and leather, but it's not recommended for fabric. So I use the Stays On jet black ink, and of course the Gorjuss Girls, and these are the four that I have. This is my favorite girl. And now if you don't have the Gorjuss Girl stamps, you could use whatever doll image or whatever image you would prefer on your paper clips. And then I use to color my image, I use Copics because these are alcohol markers. And of course you'll need paper clips. And again from Amazon, I use E6000 to glue my girls to the paper clip. And if you want the girls to have wings or image to have a different background, I use Spellbinder's die, and I use this butterfly right here, and I use another Spellbinder's die, which is this what you would call this, well, they call it Parisian motif. It look like a doily to me. So I use those two. And now as you've seen here, I have already went ahead and color up and fussy cut out some of the girls that I will be putting on my paper clips, and I left one to do along with this video. So just let me put these aside. So here is my image that I'm going to color up and then cut out. Please excuse my neighbor's dog, they're acting like the fool today. Now what I have found, I'm going to share my experience with you. Using the Copics on this type of surface, it's very tricky. It will not be like coloring on paper. I found that the Copic tends to slide, the color wants to move when you lay it down. So my advice or my tip to you is, when you lay down, you don't want to repeat over that spot too much, maybe once or twice, but that's it, because after that you'll be just moving the color around and it acts weird. So and if you make a mess, no worries, use your same number 0, the colorless blender, and just do one swipe and it will get rid of that mistake that you've made. So let me show you quickly how I colored her up. I don't use much color. I'm going to color her hair black, and the bunny this light orange, which is YR02, and the teacup, I'm just going to give it like a silver type shading, and this is cool grade number 3, C3. Okay, so I will speed through this so you don't have to sit here and watch this tedious coloring. So like I said, you know, you just want to take your time, and you don't want to, the black is very intense, don't go over it over and over on that same spot, you know. And also I don't think that it's necessary to try and do any shading, and you definitely can't do blending. When it shrinks, it will shrunk to such of a small size, the shading and your blending won't even matter. Also, I don't really pay attention much to the bow. because I'm just going to put a bling over it anyway. To be putting the Copic markers too much on the actual stamp lines, the actual stays on, because I think it reactivates the ink for some reason and it moves around, it drags, it smudges it, you know, you give it a smudge. It seems like it's nothing here, but I think that when it shrinks you will be able to see it. So here we are, plain and simple, and now I am going to be shrinking these. Now in the past I have done them with my heat tool, which I do not prefer. I actually prefer bake them in my oven, and I bake them anywhere from 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course I preheat my oven first. So why I prefer that method is because with the heat tool, two things. One, because it tends to want to blow the actual film. I find that I would have to be holding it down with something, you know. But then what that does is, after shrinking, I found that it left a tiny indentation where I was holding it down. And the second thing why I do not prefer that method anymore is the shrink process. It folds in on itself and then it folds back out, you know, and that's the ending part of it. But because of the heat tool, I am thinking that me holding it down and with the heat tool, when folding back out on itself, it doesn't come out perfect. You know, I would find some part not well, I would find that some part is not it doesn't follow back properly, and I am thinking maybe because it's a heat tool where I'm not having a consistent all-around heat, which that's exactly what an oven does. It gives a all-around consistent heat, so it, you know, always come out perfectly when I do it with the oven. So let me see if I could take you to my oven so you could see what I call the magic happen. Okay, so I have them here on a regular baking sheet, and my oven is already preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and so we are going to put them in the oven. And now I'm sorry, I know that there is a glare, but I can't do anything about that. I have to have the oven light on so you could actually see it. And they will start to curl up, and it will seem scary at the beginning, but they will fold right back on themselves. Maybe if you could look at the ones over there where there's no glare. There it is, they're started already. And that's it. So here they are, all shrunken, and you can see the size we start out with in the baking sheet compared to what we have now. So now I am going to put them on the paper clips. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, so this is the one that I colored on camera. Now you see how the color that I use, this C3 cool gray, when we laid down it looked like nothing, but when it shrunk, you see how intensified that color came out. So if you are coloring and it looks pale like nothing, don't worry about it. When it shrinks, it will be vibrant. So so yeah, so this is it. So I will be putting together this clip. Sure that you are putting the one loop of the paper clip on the inside of your design. So your double loop should be outside. Don't forget that. So all we're going to do is match. We're going to play matchy matchy. I went ahead and assembled the paper clips, but before I did that, what I did is I added some sparkles to the tip of their wings. Hope you can see that. And I did that using the Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. It's something like glossy accent, but I find it to be much more runny compared to the glossy accent. So basically I didn't even have to squeeze the bottle. I just put it upside down and let it pour. And then I poured some Fun Stamper's Journey sparkle dust on that, and I had to let that sit and dry. After that, I put the girls on with the E6000, and then I gave them some embellishment in their hair. So if you remember, the bow would have been on their hair, so I just gave them some embellishment. Now this one, she did not have any bow, but still I wanted to give her some kind of embellishment. If you could see the glitter, I love that. So that is it. Of course I had to let it dry because the E6000 takes a while to dry, so I did that overnight. So if you see the lighting look different, it's because it's the next day. This is the morning after. So these are the sets that we did, and these are the ones that I have posted on Instagram, and they're both going to two different friends here on YouTube. I hope they like them. So this is it. Oh, by the way, if you notice that these, I have these on like the heart shape. I use the a Fisker punch, and I just add flower and pearl there to fill up the little space of the heart there. But the second time around I use butterfly wings instead. So guys, I hope that you have enjoyed the video, and I hope it wasn't too long. I tried my best not to make it too long. If you have any other questions, or maybe I missed something, please leave it in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you haven't subscribed, I hope that you do. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Take care guys. Thank you. Bye.